what's up guys, Josh's Boost here and welcome back to another One Piece video. Today, something pretty spicy in my opinion, and honestly I feel like this deck is kind of insane, in a way that one of the non-top meta decks can be insane, I guess. I really think this deck is extremely good. We are looking, of course, at my boy Gecko Moria. I love playing black decks, what can I say, and I really wanted to try this, and surprisingly, I actually think this deck is very strong. So what we're gonna be doing, gonna be taking a look at the deck list and then do some gameplay. You'll see that in one of the videos, or one of the replays I should say, the deck list is like a little bit different, but I did eventually settle on this deck list, and this is also the deck list that you will see in 3 out of the 4 games. I just want to go over it real quick, and I'm actually super convinced by this deck. Like, if I were going to Paris next weekend, this is actually the deck I would be bringing. I'm not saying it's like the best deck or anything, but it is extremely consistent. It does have a pretty solid matchup spread. And what I really like is that this is like the black deck to beat Teach. Like, if you want to play like a deck removal deck, I really feel like this is the strongest deck going into Teach, which is one of the most popular decks. Basically, it's like Black Doflamingo, right? So you just like tempo, play out a lot of 5k bodies, and just kind of control the game like that. Going into the deck list, I just want to go over Thriller Bark Engine first. So I'm playing like 4 Absalom, of course, 4 Hogback, 4 Perona, and then like a new addition. This is actually from OP10. It's this Gecko Moria, which plays like a 2-cost or less rested from your trash. And the targets for that are going to be the full place of the Inupe. This is just a consistency card on play. If your leader is a Thriller Bark Pirates type, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards from your hand. So you can really set up your trash for Tempest Kick and just draw for like your combo pieces. Then I'm playing double of the Cerebus, just a blocker, which is very strong against decks like Shanks and Teach that rely on very big drops. And you can also cheat this out with Moria's ability, right? Of course, it feels a little bit less good to play out a 2-cost than a 4-cost, but sometimes this is the best card to play out. And then we can also play back Sindri, of course. Best starter card in the deck, sets up the trash. And you really want to see your Absalom, so having this card in your hand is pretty nice at the start of the game. And you can add it back as a 2k from Hogback, right? That's the Thriller Bark engine of the deck, and then for the I guess Hina is probably like the most key piece for the other cards, because it's like a reduction that's also 5k body, so it really helps you with the tempo as well as setting up a reduction with Absalom, and it can help you KO 5 costs, and I guess technically 6 costs with Absalom, although that doesn't come up that much. We're playing Tempest Kick as a reduction tool as well, because we are milling 2 cards with our leader, which I really like, of course. And yeah, this also just sets up for removal, helps us again get to that 5 cost threshold, and comboing this with Hina will get rid of almost anything in the form, aside from Shanks and 10 cost Teach. But for the Shanks we have our girl Stussy here. We will very often have something like a Sindri on the field, a Zoro we use to reduce, or an Inupe, so this card is pretty nice for that. You do not get the Inupe effect, which is a little bit of a shame. But yeah, I think this card is pretty good, but you can definitely just play full tempo and not play this card at all, in my opinion. And play 1 Sabo, a little bit of Cycle. You can still do Rebecca Sabo in this deck. Rebecca, I mean, this is just the black card, the best black card in the game currently. Moncherry to get us that Rebecca in the late game. Tsuru as the last 2k, but the -2 definitely comes up a lot as well. And I'm actually testing Brook right now, because I really feel like if you don't see the Absalom, it's really hard to play your game plan. But Brook can like be a little bit of a pseudo Absalom as well. It can just be very strong. You can just also play it out on 3 Dawn and then follow up with like Hina next turn, and sure, you do not get the trash setup with your Moria leader ability, but against some matchups it's important to control the game like this. Yeah, that is the deck list. I can yap on and on about it, to be honest, but it's probably best to just see it in action. So let's just hop into the games. We are going to be playing against Bonnie, Zoro, Teach, and Pluffy, so some pretty like meta decks. Let's check it out. So our first game here is going to be against Teach. I think we won the Dyrel, so we went second. As you can see, this is still like an old build. I was actually playing the Ryuma in a previous list, and I still think this card is pretty good, to be honest, but it doesn't really contribute that much to like the rest of the deck, even though like in some situations playing out the Ryuma when you have to push for a game but you don't have a lot of attackers, like when you are in the super grindy games, it can be good, and just being able to play out a 6k body with Moria's ability is very strong as well, but I don't really think it's mandatory. We are up against Teach, we went second, and he actually doesn't use the leader ability here, which is pretty good for us, because that means that now we can kind of just leader ability him on our own, so we can still eat away at our hand. Basically, if they don't leader ability us, we can just leader ability them. I really think this incentivizes them to use their leader ability basically from the start of the game on, which definitely they don't want to be doing. So that's very good for the tempo. He swings into our leader here. We pitch the hawk back because we don't want to get down on life too fast. And then he goes leader ability, play out Kuzan, go into Burgess. I mean, very standard line, right? We pick up the Moria, which doesn't have an effect right now. So let's see, we go swing 5 with the Perona. And then I think we'll probably go 5 with Sindri as well. And then I guess we're going to be playing out Ryuma, which I guess in this matchup is pretty good because it's a 6k body. It's probably actually the best target, so I guess against Teach it is pretty good. And they need to out it, right? Because the double attack from the Ryuma is actually super threatening against Teach. Because if we can get them very low on life before they get to the 10 drop, that's pretty solid chance for us to win the game. He takes it here. And now you will probably have to use something like Finger Pistol or Black Hole to out our Ryuma, and he does have the Finger Gun here. He also doesn't have Stage here, which is good for us. Now our hand is like a little bit weird. Is it though? We go to 8 on next, I'm sure. We can still play out 2 bodies and swing with 6. Which is very, very good and very hard, if not impossible, to deal with for Teach on their 9 on turn. And then on like the 10th on turn, we can really pressure them and hopefully set up for like a game push the turn afterwards. He is doing a little bit of a think here. What is he going to be doing with the remaining 3 done? He goes leader ability, pitch at 2k. And then just swing 8 into leader instead of, so opting to leave the Perona on board, I guess. Yeah, so he actually decides to go on the aggro here, which I don't really agree with. I feel like that probably isn't the line. So what we can do here is swing with the Perona. Yeah, so I'm probably going to go 6-6 here. Test for the 2k. He probably does have a 2k because he pitches stronger, so we already know that. But then we just go 6 again, and then he will probably have to discard double 2k if he wants to. So play out the Ryuma again, which is very, very strong. Play out Kuzan. Keeping the Stussy in hand instead of the Moria there. Maybe that's a little bit of a misplay. Like, kind of, the reason I kept the Stussy there is like if he doesn't use leader ability on his 10th on turn, then we can Stussy on the 10 draw. But to be honest, in hindsight, that seems pretty unlikely. But yeah, now we definitely have a field like he has to deal with. He opts to pop the Ryuma with Black Hole, which is fair enough. Like the double attack could just literally finish him off here if it doesn't have enough counter. Now you can probably go 8 into Perona. Maybe play Kuzan, play out another Burgess. But we do have like a lot of defensive tools here. We have a lot of 2Ks. And we can potentially go like Rebecca next turn. So he goes swing 5. I think I will probably block with like a Rebecca. Because it seems unlikely I will go double Rebecca next turn. Then he goes swing 9. I'll let it go, don't want to burn my entire hand on that. Probably gonna play out another Burgess. Oh, he plays out the Shiryu to get rid of the Sindri. That's fair, that's fair. Goes leader ability, we pick up another Tsugu, which is not the best top deck. I guess we can go like 6-6 here and play out double Rebecca. Or we can just go like 7-8. Play out another body, play Rebecca. By discarding the Stussy. That's probably the way. Because it puts him on 0 life, then we can just protect the Kuzan and then we can just try to push for game next turn. We actually go 6 here. Okay. Maybe we're just gonna be playing out the Sindri as like an additional body. Is that it? Yeah. That is actually fair, I think. And now we can just protect the Kuzan. And we have like double 10k swing on the next turn to attempt to go for game, because we do have enough counter in hand as well as the Rebecca to protect our Kuzan. And yeah, but then we just go 10-10 and hope it is enough. But usually it is against Teach. You already burn a lot of 2k as well. Opts not to pitch for a leader, but I mean, we only have one line, right? I mean, I guess we could technically go Rebecca actually and try to play out the game a little bit longer, but I really feel that swinging 10 here should usually be game. Oh, actually very close, but yeah, we got him in the end. Exactly 10, enough to protect 9k, so actually exactly game there. So yeah, pretty convincing showing for Moria. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, going into the Pluffy game. I again won the die roll, pretty lucky. And I go first, of course, because we're up against Pluffy, and I still assume most people are gonna be playing the regular Pluffy build instead of the going first one. We do have Epsilon here. Double actually, but we don't really get to do a lot of something high impact here. But just playing out just cheating out basically the 5k body, I think on this turn is pretty strong. So now we'll be able to go 6-7. We're not able to clear the kid though. It's a little bit difficult for Moria. But we decide to go eat at his hand with the Perona, pitching our only 2k, which maybe is a little bit risky. He swings into the Absalom, plays out Searching Zoro. So we get lucky he doesn't have the Luffy Taro. I mean, now he does, I guess, because he picks it up with one of the Zoros. But we will be able to clear his kid here and just go on the aggro with our Epsilon. Play out Epsilon, put back those two. Right, now we go 5-5. And, I mean, we're already very close to the end game, basically, with this field. Chip away at 2 cards of his hand, have 4 bodies on the field, which he kind of needs to deal with. So he can probably do 2 swings at max. And he doesn't have the 9-drop Mom either, so that's pretty good for us. Trash not yet set up, though, for the Tempest Kicks. But if we do play the Inupe, then it will be. So that's going to be an option to do this turn. And then we can actually clear the Luffy as well. So I think I'm counting here. Okay, so I'm gonna play. Okay, so I opt to just go more aggro. We're playing this Rebecca into Hina into Upslam to pop one of the Zoros, opting to not go Inupe, double Tempest Kick to pop the Luffy. Okay, so I just start digging into his hand here for 2Ks. But he does have 3 of them, which I guess is fair enough because Pluffy does tend to play a lot of 2Ks, like definitely more than the average deck. This was definitely like a scary point because if he went Uso Hachi and then tried to push for game, it would have been scary since we only had 3k counter in hand. Doesn't play out anything with the Pluffy. And I guess... Okay, so here I start playing out the Tempest Kick. Because now I will be able to get rid of his Luffy. Probably pitching this 2C, yeah. And now we're like in a pretty good position, I feel. Just go 6-6 again. Oh no, I go 5-7. Then he will probably do Giant here, if he has it. Yeah, he does. But now we're like in pretty good position. We have the blocker and we have 4k in hand, which already feels significantly better than 3k. And I guess he will search for like Usohachi or Sanji here, but he doesn't find it. I think if he would find Sanji, we would be in a little bit of a pickle. But he doesn't. With Usahachi, I think we would live. With the Usahachi, with the Sanji, I'm not sure. But now, I mean, it's just game over, right? He plays out the blocker, that's whatever. We can even go like Tempest Kick into... I don't know if I have the Epsilon in trash actually, so maybe not. To go 7 there. And then I go another 7 and an 8-8, I think, to try to push the game, because we need to win the game here, right? And now it's like a little bit scary, because if he does have another giant, then we very likely lose. But yeah, let's check for it. Yeah, he doesn't have it. He did have the Usohachi though, so he could have played that last turn. Yeah, but I think it wouldn't really have mattered, and the open down was just a bluff, right? So yeah, we take this game as well. On to the next. Alright, next one, we are up against Zoro, and we again won the die roll. Opening up Sindri here, which is probably like the best starter, and we also get to see Absalom in the trash. Now this is a little bit weird, because you usually don't really want to attack into open dawn against Zoro, right? Because of the event. But he actually didn't have it, so good for us. And we play out the Hawkback here with the Moria to just like start gathering 2Ks to our hand, so we can just play the long game. He plays out... He doesn't really have such a good starter, to be honest. We go 5 with Hawkback. He counters, then we'll go 6 with Moria, play out. Yeah, pitching the Stussy, we're not going to be using that in this game. Play out the Perona to either way add a card in his hand, and then use the 2 remaining Dawn to play out the Cerberus. Just like a 2-cost blocker. And we already have like a little bit of setup for Tempest Kick, I think. We should be almost there. Swing 7 into leader. Now the Nami can run over the Hawkback, which is a little bit annoying. He goes 6, and now we probably counter, I would assume, with the Sindri. Or with the Perona, I should say, yep. It's better. It's better because Rebecca can potentially grab the Perona from the trash if we want to, right? We get Brook here, which potentially could come in. Could go like... Okay. I mean, there is like some lines. Like if he plays out the guy here with the... he probably won't do it, right? He probably wants to do the event on the leader swing. And maybe I should have attacked with leader first, actually, instead of swinging with the Perona first, because then there is the possibility of me not swinging with Perona, and that will make it awkward for him. Because if I, like, forces him to think if he wants to use the event on the first attack or not. Because I'm always going to be swinging with the leader, I think, right? Yeah, he plays the event, he plays out this chopper, which, again, a little bit unlucky. Oh, but right. Okay, we thought about it, that's fine. Either way, another card from his hand, and play out the Brook. And now we're, like, in a pretty commanding position, even though he does have a lot of cards in hand. But we do have, like, a 2K Rebecca, and the Cerberus still on field. Plays out the chopper finally here. Plays out another of this chopper, but he doesn't seem to have any targets for that in his hand, so it's good for us. He has 4 open dawn. He opts to go for Makino here, swing 6 at leader. So he's not going to try to control the game at all. Play out another Makino, boost the Nami. Now we'll take this, right, and then we'll probably use the Serb. Yeah, that's fair enough. Just using our Sindri to clear the Makino. Then we have Tempest Kick Absalom to get rid of his... Oh, this is actually very strong. Yeah, this very strong turn. Then we can run over his Nami, play out Absalom, KO his chopper, and then also play Rebecca to potentially dig for a 2K, and then we're like in a very commanding position. And we can also pressure him a little bit. Yeah, it's very good. And we already have the Absalom engrave. Yeah. I mean, what's he gonna do at this point, right? I actually don't have a 2K in trash, so I pick up the Brook here. I think that was a little bit of a miscalculation. I thought I had another Perona in there, but looking at it like this, that's literally impossible, because 2 are on the field and 2 are in my hand. He plays the Luffy. That's fine. plays out. Yeah, this is also pretty good, to be honest. But still, I mean, still in such a good position. We can just start pushing into his leader here. And, like, if he has, like, some counter, yeah. Let's go 7-11, I guess. and this guy knows the channel, so that's very cool. Shout out to him. I'm typing here, you will be in one. I hope he sees this. If you do, shout out to you, Farmer Man. And let's go into the last one, which is against Bonnie. Alright, last one against Bonnie. We finally lost to Daryl, so he opted to go second, which honestly we don't mind too much. I think that's also pretty good about this deck, is that it's very solid going both second and first. Of course, going first you have like a little bit more tempo, but against decks that are significantly stronger, going second, I think it's a very fair option to just go second as well. So he has nothing on the 2-don turn. We also really don't have that much to do here. Like, we could play out the Brook, but not very good against Bonnie in my opinion. Just play out the Hogback and I think we're just going to be playing out the Hogback as the 5k body. It's just tempo, right? It's fine. It doesn't do anything, but we could pick up the... Actually, no, we couldn't. We can't do anything. We can just put stuff to the bottom of our trash and then nothing, which is not very good. So like I said, just play out this body. It's fine. Sorry. He plays out the Uruj here, which we can't deal with just yet. Need a little bit more setup. But that's fine. Even though... I mean, it's fine. Like, if we were Lucci, this would be annoying, but... We are not Lucci, we are Moria, so we can just play the tempo game a little bit more. So now we're just gonna be swinging 5 with leader. And play out the Sabo, dig for some cards, and slowly setting up for, like, Tempest Kick Upslump turns, which is very strong. He's really thinking about it. Actually, I should probably put this, like, on a little bit higher speed. Really thinking about it. So he opts to guard there, and we just play the Sabo. We pick up double 2k, which is strong. Pitch those, that's fair. He does now know we have access to Epsilon, but... I think, like, if you can, you'd rather not give them this information, but... The other cards are just strictly better in the hand, right? And now we can even with the Sindri make... potentially Tempest Kick live next turn. He stuns the Sabo, that's fine. We play out Sindri. This makes a Tempest Kick live, and now we can go Tempest Kick. Very big swing into Uruj, and if he wants to guard the Uruj, that's fine by me. Because it's gonna burn at least 2 cards from his hand. We get rid of the carrot there, and he does up to protect the Uruj, which is fair enough, I think. But now we have double Tempest Kick in hand, which... I mean, Bonnie tends to not play super huge characters. Like, the 5 costs are very strong. And once he starts playing out potentially a kid, we can just, like, pop the blocker and then swing big into the kid, which is also good. Up to guard with the Inupe there. I think I'm gonna take this Bonnie swing, yeah. We get Rebecca to our hand, again very strong. Taking a look at our trash here if we do have access to Hina, but I don't think we do. And here I could... Oh, this is actually kind of funny. I'm just gonna be swinging to the kid here, but... I didn't even really need to. I could just swing into the Uruj. Because there is no Dawn under the kid. That's funny. I don't think I noticed that while I was playing the game, actually. See, now I'm just gonna end turn, but there's no Dawn under the kit. That's funny. Could have just attacked the Uruj and then the game's just over, right? But even now, he has no hand, literally. And we can just pop the field next turn. Should be, anyway. Unless he had, like, some insane top deck. Top deck's another kit. There is still no Dawn under the kit, by the way, so I can still just attack leader if I want to. What am I gonna do here? It's like a couple of lines. I can just pop the Uruj to attack the kit with 8. Actually, up to build like a little bit more board and then swing 8 into the kill. I swing 9 into the kit, but there's no real reason to. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. pop the kid, and the kid is gonna get KO'd. And here I think the game is pretty much over. Unless he has, maybe if he has like Tankles Doflamingo, that could be a little bit annoying, but he doesn't. He's gonna swing 7 into leader here, which are up to guard. Okay, and he has the Hody, who's 9 into leader. Now, our field's actually just full, which is funny. Makes it a little bit weird to play out to Rebecca. Let's see what line we take. We could definitely get rid of the Hody if we want to. Because we have Hina and Trash. And then, if we get rid of the Hody, I think okay, we actually don't. I do feel like we're probably gonna be attacking into the Hody actually. That seems fair. We don't, okay, sure. No attack into a Hody here. Play out Absalom. Okay, oh. I go 5. I can go 7-9 now, and then I basically only lose if he has like the 0 cost event in life, but it doesn't look like that. Like at that point here, when I swung, I could still could have lost to the 0 cost event if he picked up like a 2k, if he already had a 2k and drew the 0 cost event, because then he could exactly counter out with the 9 with 3 cards, but it seemed like he had no 2k in hand anyway with the first thing, because I feel like he would have, like if he had a counter in hand, he would have blocked there, and I would have lost to the Hody in hand actually. I think if I just played out Rebecca, pick up a 2k here. So that worked out pretty well. But yeah, Gecko Moria, highly recommend you try out this deck. If you want to play like a off-meta leader that's still very, very strong. I had like so much fun playing this deck, and I will continue playing this deck the coming weeks, because I do enjoy it a lot. And possibly I'll do like another video with like the stage build, which I also think is pretty cool. But yeah, let me know what you think about this deck, how it sits into the format. If you have like a build for this deck, let me know. Super psyched to hear about that. Leave a like, of course. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And if you do, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.